the way we misunderstand it, because I hear people talk about like on the radio, is it good for a husband and a wife to have a joint account? They think that what it means is a man is earning 500,000 naira, and at the end of the month, he will take 200,000 naira and pay into an account that he's sharing with his wife. And the wife is earning like 200,000 naira or 1 million naira, and she will take 500,000 naira or 250,000 naira and put a percentage of their income.
Not all of their income.
All of that income. Now, if the wife is earning 1 million naira and she's running a joint account with her husband, she should put the entire 1 million naira in there. And the man as well. And they'll decide how to spend the money, because it's all about understanding and agreement.
Having the same goals.
Yeah. Now, these are the things that you have to factor in.
So, see, simply put, joint plan means everything from both parties
goes in there.
There's no, let me take out a percentage of what I'm earning, keeping the rest to myself. Everyone is aware of what everyone is doing.
This is Besty and Smoke podcast.
Talking the BS.
Welcome to the Besty and Smoke podcast, the BS podcast. How are you doing today? Hopefully you are doing quite great. Because, as usual, we usually do just about the same way you are doing. Where you're crying, we're crying. Where you're laughing, we're laughing. Now, jumping right into it, you know, I am never alone. And I've got my co-host, the B in the BS.
Of course, you will never be alone. Any day you come through alone, they should ask questions. Of course, Besty and Smoke podcast at it again. You're welcome. I'm Besty, he's Smoke. And this is where we discuss so many things. If you have been someone who have been part of what we've been doing from the first episode, thank you. So how you doing, Papi?
I'm doing great today. I have no complaints. I'm taking it one step at a time. Like that song, one step at a time.
Yeah.
No need to rush. Something like that. I probably
got it wrong.
Yeah.
As always.
Because I'm thinking like...
I wanted to say something about something I saw online yesterday about what would happen or what you'd hear from your partner, and it will make you blink twice, like did something happen to him or her. So what came to my mind was, if I wake up to you saying baby,
okay,
then I will know that you've been switched. I mean, I
don't know why we are talking about this.
No, I just thought of it yesterday and I was like, I think I need to share this with you.
This is one of those moments where...
I don't want to stress you.
Let me tell you something.
Like this is literally about to stress you.
Women like to... It's like that question, right? Where a woman asks a man, if I die, would you remain? I mean, she asks it so innocently, and you want to be honest, like, yeah, of course,
I will move on.
Like, you know, after a while, if I find someone else, I'll probably don't say that. Just be diplomatic and be like, nah, I don't think I'll ever.
There's never another you.
Someone like you.
I mean, after you, that isn't going to be. Me.
Yeah,
life is going to be miserable.
That's how men's brains have been sort of like structured by society to work.
It should be a very weird thing, very, very concerning thing. Okay. So that should be what pops up in my head because of who you are.
Okay. I'm sorry to make you feel like that.
No. So today we get to discuss something quite important. You know, money is one thing that, you know, if you're spending doing just you when you're single, you can't fight yourself. But when two people are now involved, you find yourself having conflicts.
And you also experience internal conflict as well. If not conflict, then loads and loads of anxiety.
Yeah.
So money is always a sticky subject. It's always something that always creates tension, whether by yourself or with someone else. And it doesn't really matter whether you're rich or poor. At the end of the day, you will need money to buy the things you need. And of course, for people who are rich, you will need money to create money.
Yeah.
At some point, you are going to need more money to create more money. And that is where the tension begins to happen for you. So money is, it brings a lot of tension.
Yes, it does. And that's why today we'll be discussing about managing money without fights. So on that note, what we'll be looking at today is money management, maintaining a joint plan, dealing with family, tradition, and culture.
Sounds like quite a lot to deal with.
It is a lot, but very essential.
Okay.
So I hope we get to deal with all of it, because sometimes we start the conversation and it gets, we have a lot to talk about. Let's get into it.
This is Besty and Smoke podcast.
Talking the BS.
Yeah, so money management. This goes beyond money management in marriage, because you have to be a good money manager personally in your own personal life to
Apply that
actually
in your marriage.
Yeah, be able to also replicate that in your marriage or in whatever situation that you find yourself in dealing with other people. So money management essentially is about 4 things. That's spending money, saving money, budgeting money, and investing money. Saving money is about setting aside a portion of your income or the money you earn over time and not touching it.
Yes.
Leaving it there to grow. Spending money, that's everybody's favorite pastime. Spending money is when you take money and you use it in exchange
For something.
Yeah. So that money goes out, it doesn't come back in. So you've lost that money, even though you might have gained value.
Value.
Right? But that money is never going to come back
Return
to you
to you.
again unless you earn another
Income.
This is Besty and Smoke podcast.
Saving money, spending money, investing money, and budgeting money. Now, budgeting money is the one ring that rules them all.
Yes.
It decides the amount of money you set aside and the amount that you spend and the amount you eventually put into making more money. Now, spending money is when you take out money, an amount from your income, and you pay for something.
Which is the easiest to do.
Yeah, it's something everybody loves to spend money. Everybody loves to acquire things.
Money.
And that's why
It is the easiest to do.
And that's why you see everywhere you go, you see shops. Everywhere you go, you see stuff being done.
Yeah.
Because people are earning a living from people spending money.
I think that's essentially what life is, about, because mostly everything in life you have to spend.
So you have spending money, and once you spend money, once you take out that
never
money,
getting it back.
You're not going to have it come back until you have made more money.
Yeah.
And even when you make more money,
the one you spent, you're not recovering that.
It's not replacing the one you've already spent or the one that's gone out. Yeah. So that's why it's always a good idea to budget, to be intentional about
what's leaving.
Yeah. What you are spending money on. Is it something that's valuable? Is it something that you need? Is it something that's essential, really?
Okay.
So you don't spend frivolously on things and then regret because
there's no value to it.
Yeah, you're not getting the money back. So that's why sit down and make a plan. Now, the next thing is saving money, which is the direct opposite
of
spending money. When you save money, you set apart or aside a portion of your income or the money that you make over time. Could be monthly, could be weekly, could be daily.
Whatever amount, a particular percentage.
You set it aside as this is money, I'm not going to touch it. But
For whatever reason.
One thing that is particular about saving money is you have to save money with intention.
With a purpose. Because if you don't save money with a purpose, you find yourself being tempted. Yeah, you might be tempted even when you have a purpose. You might be. But the idea is when you have an agenda, when you have an aim or something you want to achieve with saving that money, you will be well disciplined because you want to achieve that goal which you're saving the money for.
Yeah. So that's the idea, to always have a plan for the money you are spending, the money you are saving, an investment plan to either use it for, because some people save money to spend the money.
Yeah. Now, while we're talking, you said it's an investment plan. Some people don't actually save money to invest money. They save money because they want something to fall back. on, in case.
Yeah.
You never can tell the necessities
As a form
life.
of security.
Yes. You feel relaxed when okay, being able to know that you have something to rely on. While for some people, it's to save because they want to invest. Now, that might be a bit complicated for some, because if you invest all of what you've saved, that means you don't have anything to actually fall back on for any emergencies.
There are two ways to save. That's why you have to make plans. Now,
so that means even with saving the money, you have to make plans with saving the money.
yeah, there's always that need to have a clear plan as to what you intend to do. Like, personally speaking, what I do is I have a savings plan for a rainy day. Now, this is not an investment saving thing. It's a rainy day,
Just in case.
savings. Now, I also have another savings plan for something I want to do.
A project.
Yeah. Now, this is how I look at life. This is how I look at money management.
Okay.
I may not be doing that right now.
But that it works for you?
Yeah, but this is how.
Sorry. I thought I thought what I heard was you said you may not be doing that right now, but what I thought you said was you may not be good for everyone. That's why I said.
Yeah, it should be good for everyone.
Okay.
And what I'm saying is, I may not be doing that right now because there are all kinds of things around saving. Okay.
Okay.
Let me be clearer. When I was a single person, I was just looking out for myself.
Okay.
Right. And I had a project. This is actually the reason why a lot of my friends were telling me to get married. Right. And I was putting it off because I had a project I was planning on completing.
Before
Settling down. And this was a capital intensive. Most of my family members knew about it, and they knew that this was the reason why
you're holding off.
Yeah. And some of them were advising me, do not let this get in the way.
Don't let it be a barrier. Just get into it.
But I also knew that if I should stop and
take on
other responsibilities, I've seen houses not completed, unfinished building projects littered all over the place. A friend of mine, his father was building a house in the village, and that house is still unfinished today. And this house was started before I was born.
So I guess there's no plan. There are no plans of actually completing the house.
I don't know. Now, what I'm trying to say is that he started building the house, and the plan got derailed along the line, and he had to stop.
Oh, so you
so I didn't want that to happen to me because I knew I wasn't a rich guy. I couldn't handle several responsibilities at the same time.
So you had to
I wanted to take one step
at a
time to handle things. Right. So I made that plan and I stuck to it. And once the project was finished, I now took that next step. Now, the way I did it back then was I had a rainy days savings and also an investment saving.
Okay.
Now, the rainy day savings was for, somebody in the family got sick. My mother needed something for her eyes, or, she was having issues with her vision and taking a couple of surgeries and things. So I would always go to the rainy day savings. Now, I had the project savings and I never touched it for anything. Sometimes I'd actually borrow money from there, but I made sure that I would always go and pay it back. So that's the thing with having different kinds of savings, because we're talking about how some people save just because it makes them feel easier, and it makes them feel easy or at ease, and others save just to invest. Now, you can do both. You can save to be easy,
and you can save to
at the same time save for a project or an investment or something that yields income, right? So that's it. Saving money, spending money,
Budgeting money and
Budgeting money and investing money. Now, budgeting money is when you get your income, you say, this is the percentage that I'm going to save. This is the percentage I'm going to spend.
This is the percentage
I'm going to invest from my savings. That's budgeting money. So essentially, this is the basics, the rudiments of managing your money. And it's not something that you do only when you are single. It's very paramount that you bring this into your marriage as well.
Now, that brings us to maintaining a joint plan.
That's right.
That's where the issues sometimes and conflicts come in.
Budgeting, savings, and investment plans.
And when your goals don't align,
Yeah.
So I'm not going to take this personal. So I'm not going to ask you any personal question I learned in my lessons. Let's talk about couples who do not have this conversation before marriage. And then you're hoping to swing it. You're hoping to just go with the flow.
It's always an essential thing to, in some way, in whatever way, to have an inkling as to how you want to manage your money as a couple.
Let's talk that
whether it's having an official talk,
conversation,
or having that always on the table.
You did say something yesterday.
While
we're discussing something about divorce and couples.
Money management issues. Some of the high-ranking factors when it comes to causes of divorce.
Yes,
I
was shocked.
Yeah,
I was beyond shocked. I thought maybe it's probably going to be infidelity.
Yeah, infidelity is there as well.
But being that money management is actually something to
resentment from ill-managed finances can cause some couples to split. When couples feel like they are not getting their dreams, their vision, and what their expectations, financial expectations, are not being fulfilled within the marriage structure.
That could amount to them wanting
and they feel like it's better if they are
go separate
on their own, that their financial fortunes would improve considerably if they were on their own. So this could lead to couples separating. So when it comes to having a joint plan, a lot of people make the mistake of misconstruing what joint plans in terms of savings means. People always bandy around the idea of having a joint account. Now, it's essential, right, to clarify on what a joint account really means. A joint account means that if you are earning 100,000 naira every month and your wife is earning 100,000 naira every month and you guys want to run a joint account, you earn that money and you toss it into the joint account, the entire 100,000 naira, and your wife or your husband takes her or his entire 100,000 naira and tosses it into the account as well. So you now have 200,000 naira.
So it's all in kind of situation.
That's right, all in. And in making a joint plan, you now say, okay, so you're a woman, you like to buy hair, you like to buy fancy lingerie, so you take this portion of our joint income for the month and take care of your personal needs. As a woman, depending on the kind of person you are, because this will have to be put into the equation. Otherwise, that feeling of resentment that you're trying to avoid will still rear its head. Because if someone is earning 100,000 naira, and if they were on their own, they could afford to buy some fancy lingerie,
they have no
good skincare products. Yeah, all of that, and look nice. And now that they have you and you guys are together and the money management is too stiff and they don't get to pamper themselves like they used to, they would begin to feel resentful unless they believe in the goal, in the plan. like, okay, this is where we are headed. We have a project planned, and they believe wholeheartedly in
They
the
should stick to
viability,
it.
in the
Yeah.
viability of this. So that we don't want to make sacrifices for that project or for that vision. But if this is not the case, you would see someone who's used to a certain way of life, and now you are setting limits.
Them.
Yeah, depriving them, causing deprivation,
And that would cause resentment.
So now, in trying to make this plan, you have to factor in the individual personalities involved. Unless everybody agrees and it is agreed that we are sacrificing, and it's understood and it's willingly done, because this is where we are headed and this is what we want to achieve. But regardless of that fact, to avoid that eventuality of secret resentment, you have to provide however you can for those things that those people are used to be factored, at least to a certain extent.
So they'll feel comfortable
They'll feel
actually
comfortable sacrificing. So you apportion something to the wife and the husband, and you set aside something that should be saved, never touched. So from the 200,000 naira, supposing you say your wife, because you're a woman, you're going to take 50,000 naira, you spend it on yourself. And me, I'm a guy. I don't really have to do all of that. So I'm going to take 25,000 naira and I'll spend it on myself. What I really need is the ability to get from point A to point B. And we are going to take another 25,000 naira and we're going to spend it on
utilities.
Utilities will be coming. We're going to save it on family. People asking us for stuff. Okay. So 25,000 naira we go to that. And then another 50,000 naira will go to utilities and the things we need for the month. Remaining 50,000 naira. So this 50,000 naira, we're not going to touch it. So that's what a joint account means. But the way we misunderstand it, because I hear people talk about joint account, is it good, like on the radio, is it good for a husband and a wife to have a joint account? They think that what it means is a man is earning 500,000 naira, and at the end of the month, he will take 200,000 naira and pay into an account that he's sharing with his wife. And the wife is earning like 200,000 naira or 1 million naira, and she would take 500,000 naira or 250,000 naira and put a percentage of their income.
Not all of their income.
Not all of that income. Now, if the wife is earning 1 million naira and she's running a joint account with her husband, she should put the entire 1 million naira in there. And the man as well. And they'll decide how to spend the money.
Together.
Now, it's within the decision, the plan, that they can say, a reasonable man, if your wife is earning more than you should say, okay, take a great amount and spend on yourself. Handle this money, in order not to give space for resentment, because we're all human beings. So use this money, do this, do that. But the wife, if she really believes in the vision, because it's all about understanding and agreement,
having the same goals.
Yeah. If she really believes in the dream, like in the West, what they do is they are saving for their retirement. They're saving to own their own home. So they want to buy their own.
Be a burden to anyone.
They want to buy their own house. They want to stop paying rent. All right. Or they want to pay off their
nursing home, mortgages and,
they want to pay off their, tuition loan. That's, a student loan.
Student loan. Yeah.
You know, because it's a huge deal. I remember when the student loan thing was coming to let's not go there. Many Americans are groaning under the impact of student loan, and it's a central piece of government policy to write off these loans. As a matter of fact, politicians use it as a campaign thing to promise, a strategy to promise that we are going to write off student loans. Right? So it's a huge burden. A lot of people in America are saying, don't take out student loans. Find a way to do
put
it
yourself through
by
school.
yourself. Yeah.
I do know that you have to pay for the interest, and you find yourself maybe when you're done, you start looking for a job because yes, you now have to get a job and then start paying off the student loan. So you might live like 10 years of your life trying to pay off the student loan.
Trying to pay off your student loan. So the thing is, in that plan for your joint account, you might be paying, your wife or your husband might be paying off their student loan. Okay, but we don't do that here. All right, not essentially. Right. So now these are the things that you have to put into factor in.
So see, simply put, joint plan means everything from both parties
goes in there. Not the way you think that you're going to put.
Goes in there, all of it.
Yeah, it goes in there.
There's no, let me take out a percentage of what I'm earning, keeping the rest to myself.
Yeah. A lot of people believe that you can just give 10-15%.
Yeah. And with that, a plan is now made.
Yeah.
And everyone is aware of what everyone is doing.
This is Besty and Smoke podcast.
Talking the BS.
The next point is dealing with family, culture, and tradition.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We are Africans.
Yes, we are.
And in Africa, we believe so much in family. We believe in helping family.
We believe in black tax.
Yeah, if you want to call it that. But a lot of people don't necessarily look at it as taxation. They see it as helping someone and having that someone help someone. You know, the whole idea behind this is people believe that there's something we say that so the help a man renders to another man is for him to be able to help him in the future
others
when he is essentially
the meaning of
when I'm in need as well. I help you now and then you help me later. So I think that's the whole idea behind families helping one another. But it's gotten to the point where it's produced entitlement, and that's
from who? From family members, relatives?
From everyone. From everyone. People now expect once you seem or appear to be doing well, everybody in the family now expects you to carry all their troubles.
Financial burdens.
And you don't really need to even appear like you're doing well. If you are higher on the scale of performance, financial performance,
whether single or married, if
let's say you have a job and I don't have a job and you are my sister, automatically you are taking care of me. Nobody cares whether you are able to take care of yourself, not to talk of taking care of somebody else. So as soon as you have that job, you are taking care of every member of your family who doesn't have a job. And for women, as soon as you get married, it's like getting a job. You are taking care of people in your family. Now, that's why I said it's not really about having the appearance of doing well. It's just about
if you're better off.
If you're better off than the next person, that next person will automatically depend on you.
And that is where the entitlement comes in.
Yeah, if you're not helping them, you're doing better than them, and you hate to reach out and pull them onto that level where you are, so they too can have a better life.
Now, I'm not saying, or I do believe you probably feel the same way, that helping out is a bad idea. But for you to actually find yourself, especially in your marriage, not having conflicts or fights when it comes to external bodies would be an issue. That's why you need to set boundaries. Because if you do not set boundaries, first, not saying it's a bad idea to actually help when you have, but set boundaries. Because with that, you'd actually find yourself having a better money management plan.
Yeah, and by boundaries, to expand on that, I remember the thing when I was talking about having a joint account and saying 25,000 naira will go to helping family. So you keep it within that 25,000 naira. So once the 25,000 naira has been exhausted, nothing else goes to anyone. So that could be a way to keep boundaries. That could be a way to, but we are Africans essentially.
Yes, we are.
And family will always be paramount, and it's always going to be difficult to
say
set
no
boundaries and to say no sometimes.
That's where
I
always
guess
following through comes in.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we just find ourselves being Africans. You know, for instance, you are in the city and you have a family member coming to your house, and you believe that they are there to stay for a couple of days, but
you're trying to make the stay comfortable for them.
But they are staying for good.
Oh, I did not see that one coming. And you can't say no to them. Now you have extra mouth.
And you can't tell them go.
No, you have overstayed your welcome.
So that happens. And because we Africans, we live in that world. And because I'm an African and also a beneficiary of this, of someone accommodating me and giving me a space to live in. My uncle, I actually lived with my uncle for a very long time. And I feel like that created a space for me to understand the intricacies of this culture. And it's not always easy for the one who's staying, the one who's being accommodated. I've learned that. And in my case, I had to make myself very small. I had to try to not be a burden, but I was a burden. There was no way I couldn't have been a burden. My uncle was a civil servant. He had a family and he had other people just like me staying with him. So whatever I did, just by breathing in that family was already a burden, whether it was spoken or not. But I had to make myself small, and this affected my psyche. I remember me and my uncle having conversations, and he would hate my behavior. He said I was acting as though he wasn't my family, but I was just trying to lighten the burden for him. He was generous to a fault, and he ended up helping everyone. You know, sometimes I wish the wishes were horses. You know, I don't reach out to him much because I can't really do what I want to do. When I was living with him, I felt like it was difficult for me, but now I know it was more difficult for him. And I can see how I made, by trying to lighten his burden, how I made that burden even much more for him. And I wasn't really a good guest. So right now, I wish, but I don't really talk with him much. He would say why, but it's okay though. It's very much okay, but I feel like I have to, no matter how okay he is,
still reach out.
Yeah, I should be able to demonstrate
gratitude.
My gratitude.
This is a quite relatable tale, because I do know there are so many young persons, not really young, but people who have had to grow up with extended family members, and while you were with them, you felt like there were things, you know, that were unfair.
Yeah.
But being an adult right now, looking back, you realize how difficult it was
for them.
How, you know, my mom used to say that, so it's like when you grow, you realize that things you were not understanding of before, you understand them now. But the thing that is, when you're trying to tell younger ones, they still don't understand it. So this is actually, it's a mistake, or it's a lesson everyone,
cycle.
Yeah, has to learn.
This is Besty and Smoke podcast.
Talking the BS.
Yeah. So that got intense a little bit back there. Basically, you have to learn how to handle family, that's extended family, culture, and tradition.
And with that, learn how to set boundaries so you can follow through.
That's right. And follow through on the plans that you have made for your family. And
I also suggest you have that conversation, that open talk about it. Be intentional about having that conversation, because if you don't, that's where you leave room for the fights. You leave room for the misunderstandings. You leave room for the insinuations or interpreting things as what they are not. So
And resentment.
Yes, resentment as well. So have that conversation. It's important. And also note that we talking about this, we are not even better off because we still have this conversation. It's an ongoing thing. So you find yourself at a particular stage having a conversation about a particular project or something, and there might be misunderstandings, but always find a mutual ground.
That's right. And we just have to wrap this up somewhere. I wish we could just, go on and on, but we can't. Remember, money management comes first. Save, invest, budget. Don't do too much spending. Save, budget, and invest the money. Because when you invest, you have enough money now to actually spend.
Plan and stick to it.
That's right. And on that note, until the next time we are here, keep saving, keep investing, keep budgeting. And maybe somehow, somewhere, you'll be able to manage money in your marriage without fights. We'll see you again.
Ciao.
This is Besty and Smoke podcast.
Talking the BS.